Charlotte Katakuri, one of the central antagonists of Whole Cake Island and Luffy's final obstacle for this arc. Debuting in chapter 860, this guy had already set a good and cool impression on us at the time. Not only was his design epic, but he had a type of observation haki that was never seen before. His moments in the wedding were great, and he quickly became a fan favorite among the One Piece community. Then we get to his fight with Luffy. From 879 to 895, right about now, we have learned so much about this character that he's now up there with some of people's favorite antagonists in the series. But what's his overall importance in the story of One Piece? Why is he so crucial to this arc and Luffy? Well, I'll be discussing it here. My name is Ninja, and let's dive right into the importance of Katakuri. Before Luffy's fight with this Mochi Man occurred, he only had a few other major fights in the New World. I mean, sure, he fought against Caesar and Hody, but those weren't anything too memorable and we kinda just shrugged them off. While his fight against Don Chinchao was cool, it didn't strike us that much aside from a cool King's Haki clash. Dofi fight was important to Luffy moving forward as he began to take his opponents much more seriously after seeing the terror of Flamingo King. Despite all this, he could still fall back in the dressers of people, and without them, he wouldn't have won the battle. Gear 4th was too straining, and that haki break was key. We then transitioned to his fight with Cracker in the current arc. He began to see the terrifying power of the Big Mom Pirates, but he at least had Nami to help him out by defeating his opponent. Here though, he's all on his own. There's no break time or pretty weather girl to help you out in this fight like before. He's learned so much on his own as he's being pushed to his limits with nothing to fall back on. Katakuri is such an imposing figure, and his fight with Luffy has helped our monkey boy slowly progress in his abilities. It's almost like training for Luffy. Katakuri has constantly pushed our protagonist to his absolute best by setting the stakes fairly high. Yet Luffy also managed to gain his respect. It's not as significant as him making allies with former enemies in Impel Down, but it does kinda go back to Mihawk's statement at Marineford.
その場にいる者たちを次々に自分の味方につける。最も恐るべき力を持っている。
It was nice to see another semi-example of Luffy's greatest strength being demonstrated against Katakuri. Katakuri is also that huge benchmark for Luffy to reach and surpass. Kinda like Hisoka and Gon in Hunter x Hunter, although not as questionable. Anyways, after seeing a character like this with such strong observation haki, Luffy has wanted to improve that even more, and he's now begun to reflect more on Rayleigh's lessons during the time skip. This donut lover has also implied to Luffy how to use his devil fruit more efficiently, and even though Dofi implied the same thing, Katakuri's paramecia is much more similar to Luffy that I think he would take it upon himself to use it in a similar fashion moving forward in the story. To close things off, Katakuri has given Luffy a honestly well-deserved beating. I don't say this to bring down Luffy by any means, but he hasn't been really taking the New World that seriously. He was somewhat acting as such in earlier parts in the arc, but that was mainly to save Sanji, one of his beloved crewmates. Think about it. If Sanji hadn't had this whole dilemma between the Big Mom Pirates and the Mintsmokes, Luffy wouldn't bother making the trip to this place and would probably just go to Wano with the rest of their crew. However, the moment he and Katakuri clashed in 877, Luffy saw how seriously he must take this guy. He took Doflamingo seriously, yes, but the stakes weren't as tense as they are now because he had the people to rely on in case Gear 4th ran out, which it did. He realized that to take out this Yonko commander and have a challenge to push him to do better, he needed to take it seriously. And exposure to Yonko territory was absolutely necessary before taking on Kaido himself. And man, has he taken a beating. This is meant to show Luffy that these aren't guys you should play easy with. Dofi had authority, yes, but this is a second in command to a Yonko. If Luffy plans to take out all 4 Yonko, he's going to need to work his way up, and even though there's already a big gap between the two combatants, that doesn't mean Luffy can't try to aspire to that point. He will surpass Katakuri, if not already. The beating exemplifies how much more he has to work hard to even take out one of the Yonko. To get there though, he'll have to experience their full power to see how he stands. He's way past that point of beatings, and honestly I'm surprised he's still alive. The point I'm trying to make though is that the beatings he's endured should act as a basis for him to improve, and when he makes it out with the W, he'd already improved his strength, speed, and stamina and haki to where he has a better chance of taking on Kaido. And this wouldn't have been possible if Katakuri wasn't the obstacle. Charlotte Katakuri is, in my opinion, the most important character introduced into the New World. I know it's kind of a hot take, but that's just my thoughts. So I hope you all enjoyed the video. I had a lot of fun reading One Piece as of late, and I hope the end of this fight / Whole Cake Island wraps up well. What are your guys' thoughts on Katakuri as a character? Did you enjoy these past few chapters we've had about him and Luffy? I hope you all enjoyed this video, and Ninja out. Peace everybody and have a good day.